Hey, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Sorry for the late start. 10 o'clock London time. Try to start an hour earlier typically. 9 a.m. London time, but wherever you are in the world, if you're tuning in, thank you and hope you're well. Just a couple quick charts. Want to update on some network valuations for Bitcoin. So let's get right into it. Whoops, that's not right. Let me go back. Always something. Always something here when you stream live. All right. There we go. So I haven't shown this one yet. It's very similar to market cap per payment. Okay. But basically, as the Bitcoin network chugs along, blocks every 10 minutes, we have a set of transactions and then we have a set of payments. Payments are a subset of transactions. Okay. So, as we talked about, when exchanges do batching, is the main reason, but there are other reasons as well. And anybody can batch payments into one transaction. You get the set of payments, and payments can be on average 3, 4, 5 times higher per day than transactions, daily transactions. Good morning, Roman. Hey, man, whatever I can do, I am happy to help. My insanity has to do with other things, as everybody knows. Safety in Europe, but we can all hopefully keep each other company and sane. So I'm with you there. So here's a nice little update on valuations. Remember my numbers here, my bands, they're percentiles and they are not exactly quantiles, but the multiple is always the same, so it's the multiple over or under trend, and I'm not even showing that here. I need to change it on my tooltip. But these red bands, the blue bands, it's just certain multiples over trend line. Sometimes I will show it as a sort of an evolving thing, so where these past lines aren't smooth, sometimes I will make them smooth. It's the same idea. It kind of just depends on how strong the trend is. But with transactions, we can see obviously, let's put price on log scale here on the right axis. When we moved above or touched the red line, was actually a pretty good topping indicator according to this metric. Not as much in 2017, only to the 1 sigma. Better here actually in 2021, and then now in 2025, moving into 2026, we are back at the 1 sigma. So only in the case of 2017 was the market value, not market cap divided by transactions a day, not touching the red sigma number. Okay, and what is the value? Well, it's about 5, 6, 7 million per transaction. Okay, so that's the dollars of market cap per transaction every day. Let's go back to what we talked about yesterday. We have market cap per payment. All right, now there's more payments than transactions, like I said, okay? So here, for example, on this day, May 18th, it's 2 million, 3 million, 1. It's actually not multiples of 5 less, but say only 2 or 3. as of late. Very similar numbers, very similar metrics, but I haven't shown these in a while. I haven't done the payment ever. But I haven't done the dollar per transaction in a while. So very similar, just different, different levels. So here's transactions, here's payments. Good morning, Sandro. Should I call you Sandro or Cece? Yeah. It's silly season in the U.S. Nobody speaks normally. I mean, whether you're on the right in the Fox News camp or on the left, like the MSNBC camp, like it's just complete abnormal behavior from everyone. And I think it's great that the Germans are, leaders now. Great. I'll call you that. I'm very, very happy. Like I said, I'm super happy that the Germans are helping in Eastern Europe, helping in the Baltics, and I hope that they will continue to do so, and in good harmony with everybody. I'm a bit worried about, not worried, but we've talked about Poland a lot. I mentioned it, I think, yesterday. Is I have a feeling because of their, they really suffered under both the regimes, the Nazi and the Soviet regimes, as did we, but Poland just had a much bigger population, suffered much worse. And I wonder if, if push comes to shove, they're not just going to be worried about their own people, as every individual European nation is worried about their own people. It's a different phenomenon than the United States, which has clearly it's very polarized in the United States right now, but this is the challenge between federalism in Europe and federalism in the United States. Good morning, Gio. Good morning, Daniel. I saw this. I mean, I just honestly I can't even comment on him. I mean, it's so distressing. It's obvious that Musk, as angry as he was not angry about the deficit. He's angry about whatever his pull, his ties, his influence in the administration. So I'm not really sure this blow up is good for us, so to speak, us that are on the continent right now. Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge at the end of the day is everybody's awake, which is great, but Europe is just not like the United States. And I do, the Baltics, everybody knows the Baltics, as far as in the European Union, are the most at risk. We just have to rely on NATO. I mean, we have our own defense. We have we're borrowing anti-aircraft missiles from Spain at the moment. We need to get Patriot missiles and all this stuff. I mean, everybody's short on weapons. It's pretty wild if you think about it. It's pretty wild. I just can't watch it. I can't watch it. It's despicable. Yeah. These people should just go live in Russia. Elon Musk, after his dust up, was offered asylum by some of the crazies in the Kremlin. He should just go live there. Work on their rocketry program. That's fine. Let the Russians get to Mars. Let them do something peaceful with their lives and not focus on bombing other countries. That's fine. I would be happy for the Russians to get to Mars first. In their conservative Christian ways. Let them do it. Let them do it. Just get the fuck out of other people's countries. Uh, Unbelievable. Sandro, can I write you? I have a biking question for you. I need to write you about biking. Yeah, this is really true. I mean, everybody's just behind the eight ball here. I talked about this video yesterday, the Stephen Kotkin video. Let me pull it up. It really was good. And, I don't agree with necessarily everything. And he's pretty, he's a pretty, um, how do I say? He's definitely a pro Ukraine character. But this video, the world, I think he was in Singapore. It was just like a speech he was giving. It was from April 25th. The world in flux and Trump's role in a new equilibrium. It is true that you know Europe was, and I have numbers to show this as well. With Europe, you can look at European public spending versus American for the last like 50 years. You know, Europe was living off of basically subsidized American military protection for a long time, and it's over now. I just don't see why America wouldn't at least have the empathy to, you can still transition out of this without having, say, Ukrainians being murdered every night or the Baltics being at risk of being taken over. It's, I just don't understand the view. But really good speech. I would recommend it. It's still the American perspective, and he's not a Trump fan, as I think most of you guys are more grounded in reality here, but it gave even perspective to me as an American, European, to see, like it or not, this is sort of the world that we're in, and we got to deal with it. So we'll see. I from everything that's happening, the craziness in America, I have a feeling Europe can't bank on America at all. Like, no trust. You got Tulsi Gabbard and BNI. I mean, I think it's there's no trust. It's gone. Europe's going to have to do it themselves. Germany, France, UK, Poland going to have to be the new leaders of European security. But we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin can at least give us comfort in security, right? So here's hash rate. This is obviously growing just incredibly. So this is just log scale hash rate. I put this out on purpose with all the zeros just to see. It's actually, let me zoom in. Okay, so from the very beginning, hash rate was not really growing much. This would have been a great time to get in. I have met some people. We have even had some people in the show that have been involved from these early days. And this is pretty cool, actually. I sort of forgot that this blip occurred, but you can see hash rate increase right here. This was precisely when the infamous Slashdot article came out and brought in a lot of people like Jeff Garzik and other coders in July 2010. And you see the price spiked here as well. I think it was like under a penny to 10 cents. I need to stop rounding to zero here, but the price spiked. It's like 10 cents at this point. Then it gets up all the way to $30. Oh no, that's still November 2010. Still rounding to $0 here. Kind of cool. And then if we go here, you have, a GPU increase in hash rate and an ASIC increase in hash rate. And I haven't really looked at this in a while. Oops, sorry. We got I do. I do. I'm baffled still that people are trying to explain that away. I mean, it's clear what it was. Uh, and you don't have to be like woke or anti woke or whatever. It's clear that everybody's trolling everybody else. Bannon especially. I mean, Bannon especially is a major troll. I saw him on an interview with the FT recently. Perhaps you saw it. Bannon was interviewed by the FT, and he's trying to like play it back how Putin's not a good guy, all the rest, but he's buddies with Dugin, Alexander Dugin, Putin's horse whisperer, and totally just insane, mystical, corrupt madman. No, so no, I don't trust Bannon at all. One thing about this is the only channel where you're going to go back from European hard security to Ukrainian security. European, Ukrainian, and Bitcoin security. I didn't notice this, or I forgot it, sort of, but doing a power curve, which is still the best fit, all right? So it's not exponential, but a power. The original trend was slower than now it is all time. So the all time trend is the black line. I know my tooltip gets in the way, but the all time trend is the black line. And now in this case, I'm showing these evolving bands. So I'm not making them smooth, but I'm evolving. And you see how it was like flat here, then really fast growth here with the GPUs, and then really fast growth with the ASICs. Again, I've said it. You can look on Wikipedia, like it was the fastest to market ever, concept to market as far as like GPU mining and then ASIC mining. So it's kind of interesting how the overall trend was slower to pick up. It was such fast growth that the trend itself was like slow to pick up here. And then finally sort of picks up by really the 2017, 2018 boom. And now perhaps some of you remember, again, this is a huge tooltip. We've been sort of going back to reverting to the mean, reverting back to the all-time trend. And I had to get, I know I've asked you guys this, but I had to get, I have a little file of different units. Where is it? And different scales. But if we look, so the hash rate is the top line. Where is it? I think it got above. Let me zoom in. There it is. On May 31st, we got to 7 commas. So if you can count the commas there for the top line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. The trend itself is 1.1 with 7 commas. So that's a zeta hash. Zettabyte or zettahash. Zettabyte for computing, zettahash for hash rate. So it goes byte, kilobyte with 1 comma, megabyte, gigabyte, terabyte, petabyte, exabyte, zettabyte. We're now at zettabyte. Or zettahash. Instead of saying byte there, say hash. So we're getting to 1 zettahash, which is a sextillion is the other way to say it. A sextillion, 1 sextillion hashes. Pretty wild. So this is one I haven't showed in a long time either. We can do market cap per hash. And here, hash rate was going so fast that the market cap couldn't keep up. Okay, this was the only metric where this would occur with Bitcoin. But it is interesting. Now it seems like market cap is going to maybe slow this down. Like the trend here in this case seems to be slowing down too much. This little kink you see, like it's projecting out smooth, but then it kinks back here. I think this is a good example of how the trends, might not always work. They might not be the best, I mean, it's still a good trend, right? So the trend line here is 87% R squared. It's good. Still a power curve. But if you see how this stuff evolves, like right here, the Bitcoin network was way undervalued, relatively speaking, per the security spend. And now it's a hard metric to really understand. You could say it's overvalued per the security spend, or at least getting back to a top level, which happened here, here, here. But I don't think this is a very good predictor. It's an interesting metric, but maybe if you're a miner, this will help you. But if you take out all the noise, let's take out all the noise and just look at the trend line. Again, this trend line, if I did the evolving power trend, it would look, say, more like this blue line. But yeah, basically, from 2017, the network is now becoming relatively more valued per security than it was before that, except for this little period in 2013. So it's just interesting. It's like, if you look at these numbers in the tooltip, per one hash, it's very, very small amount of market cap. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 zeros. But it may flatten this trend out a little bit. We may just get to a point where the security is kind of growing at a more predictable rate, and the market cap grows a little bit more than that, basically, relatively speaking. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. It's just, it's kind of an interesting metric. And I don't think it necessarily can show you tops. Like, if you put the price here, like, yeah, it will spike up when the price spikes. So we used to say this, is it price follows hash, or hash rate follows price? What do you think? Looks like hash rate follows price. Let's take 2 sigma. So this does signal a top. Remember, this is the 97.5th percentile. I need to put the multiples back up to show you on the tooltip. I need to change the tooltip, but yeah, theoretically, we got a little bit to run. Theoretically. The only time it didn't hit was 2017. Which is surprising to me, but I guess because this was such a huge dip in the crypto winter. Again, Bitcoin was very undervalued relative to the security in that first crypto winter. And it's strange because the trend keeps going down. So the security keeps getting cheaper and better, so to speak. because the market cap keeps going down here per hash. But when it bumps above that trend, it would show that the market is perhaps a little bit hot per the security spend. Obviously was here, 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 here. So point is, with this one, which I haven't shown in a while, we could have a few good months here before this gets into the danger zone again. 2017 as well definitely hit the blue zone. We are in the blue zone now. So it's another way to look at it. But I think we'll get to the red zone. And then this one is per daily active addressed. Looks pretty hot. But it's not crazy. 2013 was over the red line. And I also think that this is a better indicator. Either market cap per transaction or market cap per payment. It's going to give us a better indicator of where price could go on this with this metric. Do you guys want to look at another? Anything else? Basically, no matter which way you slice it, Bitcoin is following this power curve growth, which will become a straight line on log. This is going to screw up my axis, but I'll do it. All right, so there's the trend line becoming a straight line on log. Don't ignore these numbers. Doesn't make any sense, but just at least for the effect, this is log. Okay. So hash rate itself is a power curve. The market cap per hash itself is a power curve, but it's an inverse looking power curve because security grows so much faster than market cap. So it's kind of weird, but still when it gets above this trend, it could signal overheating. Even though in general, the security is getting more secure per the value. And all of these are, transactions themselves are probably not a power law or not a great power curve. I don't have it ready, but I need to show you a transaction regression. Because those are, 300, 400,000 a day, but obviously the market cap takes over in this calculation. So that's why we get this, it's still not as great as just straight up market cap R squareds, but it's still pretty good. We see that the power curve is dominating. And as I talked about yesterday, the percentage is basically 20%. A 20% increase in the life of the network will double this trend line. Okay, so let's just go again from, I think I did it from 2017 yesterday with the payments. So year-end 2017, the trend itself is roughly 300,000. That is market cap per transaction. So to double it, we're going to have to do 20% additional time. So let's just see where that turns out to when we double this to 600,000. It was 2 years, basically. 2 years equates to, in 2019, 2 divided by 10 is 20% additional time of the network. And so for every 20% extension of Bitcoin's life, this trend doubles. And it's even faster for price. For price, it's every 12%, 12 to 13%. Yeah, I do, probably. You able to give me a subscription? There are lots of good charts there, of course, on Glassnode. But no, I don't. I don't have a Glassnode subscription. Good morning, Anders. Yes, sir. At it again. We've gone between Bitcoin and Ukraine and European security already today. This week, they're going to get to 1 million casualties on the ground in Ukraine. That is Russian casualties. Unbelievable. All they need to do is just pick up and leave. Yes, I started late. It is afternoon my time, just barely, but it's all fine. Best Bitcoin, Ukraine, and European security analysis out there. I need more European security analysis probably, but that was really it for this one, guys. I wasn't going to go too long today. I mean, let me know if you want to see something else. Go back to this one. I did a good interview with Kane McGukin. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Kane McGukin is his name. He nice guy, had a very interesting and wholesome understanding of the financial markets and has been following the power curve and stuff. So I think that interview will come out in like a week or so. But we talked about a lot of this stuff, and he was very interesting to listen to. I liked his takes. So bottom line with this again, security is growing faster than market cap. About twice as fast. In fact, the exponent here is like 10. That is here for the hash rate. Okay, log bottom, straight line. Exponent is 10, whereas with price and market cap, the exponent is about 6. So roughly half, not even, but it's a crazy difference. So even if the security gets better per each dollar of market cap, or each hash gets, let's say, cheaper per each value of dollar market cap, important thing here is to see when it still extends above the trend. Could be overheating the market cap. And we still got some time. Thank you. I will check it out. I'll check it out. But yeah, it's a kind of a confusing one, but there it is. It's like 9.5 is the exponent. Still looking good here. I think this thing will pump. I just don't think it's going to stay on this trend. Would be fine. Would be fine if it did. I'm not going to complain, but you're going to see these mountains start to climb. That is days above the 90th. I think it's coming soon. Could reset like it does here, a couple days leading up. It's been pretty predictable. 2-3 months at a time above the 90th. That's what we need to look out for. Maybe some confusing bumps out of it. But, okay, so October to even March. It was 5 months even from 2018. I remember this spike back up in February of 2018 as people were getting forlorn after this January drop. I saw a tweet from Fred Krueger saying, don't trade for the next few months. Don't do anything. Sit back. Probably sound advice. It's just so much madness. Like it's on the backdrop politically of so much madness, like way more madness than here, in my view. What did we hit here? So we hit the 99th. Here we did. Let's say we hit the 99th percentile in the end of this year, start of next. It's 584,000. 4.7x the trend. 584,000. I think that's pretty rich, but you never know. I'm sure you guys saw how it pumped yesterday versus, versus a demurred weekend before. It's interesting, the longest above this band was 2013 into 2014. And actually didn't quite notice it. So what's the total day count? 110. And you could even tack on these even though it fell off quickly. But 110 plus 16, 120 roughly. Let's say that's 4 months. I think 3 to 4 months is all you got if you want to play the game, but it's never financial advice. It's not easy. Mostly the latter. Mostly. I tell myself I will do these, the swing trades or rebalancing, but it's difficult. When the moment comes, it's just very difficult. It's very hard to get those UTXOs on your balance. And to me, every time, like if I want to just unload a couple, like I do feel a little bit like exhausted from doing it, a little bit sad. And obviously we know that there's a huge contingency of Bitcoiners that feel the same. And now we have a lot of grifters that are ready to take those UTXOs from you. But having said all that, I'm a firm believer in this trend. I just posted something from Sminston. He was talking about how he uses the fifth percentile quantile, which is a little bit different than what I do when I talk about fifth percentile, but nonetheless, his is a very smooth, nice. He uses that as a support. So this is the top 10 percentiles. It would be on the bottom side below this black line. And as I've said many times, this black line has basically not changed since the year end 2016. It's been very similar projections throughout. If you took the 2016 line and then lined it up with this total line, all-time line, it would be very similar. But he said even the fifth percentile quantile, which is the lower boundary, has gone pretty good since 2015, which I didn't quite realize. So one full year earlier, even the fifth percentile looks pretty good. And he uses it a lot in his support. He has that retirement calculator. I can pull it up if you want to see it, but I'll just pull up what I reposted. He's got very beautiful visuals. So he's talking about the fifth percentile power law regression. All right, so it's a nice smooth line that's going to be used as support. You see this is a lower than my line, right? I'm just using the trend. He's talking about a fifth percentile. Looks very good for support. And it's been basically the same since 2015, which again is pretty incredible. I could zoom in, can I? So 2015 is the blue line. All time or full data model, as he says, is the orange. It's basically the same. And keep in mind, I keep doing these streams to convince myself. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. But, that's why I try to do these comparisons with exponential trends, with Plan B's S2F trend, which is really a power law, but it's a ham-fisted way of doing a power curve. Let's look at do I have price? Oh, okay. Very simple. Let's look at this channel now. Market cap per transaction, market cap per payment. Almost identical numbers, right? Again, there are 2 to 3 payments per transaction, roughly, on average. This is what hits the blockchain. This is what sort of hits different addresses. It all hits the blockchain, but you know what I mean. This is what you pay fees on. And in both cases, we are still in the 1 sigma range, or 2/3 of the time range. So just kissed it here on June 1st for the transactions. And then for the payments, we kissed it a couple times, didn't we? Also on June 1st. Zoom in. Also on May 13th. $3 million of market cap. But we got room. I think This is a nice view of what could happen here. I don't know about you guys, but I can kind of feel the tension on Bitcoin Twitter. And it's like compounded with all the political tension, at least to me. Yeah. It's taking longer. You know, if anything, I think it's more like a 2017 move because that was coming out such a deep bear. You can really see that deep bear here. This is dollars per payment. Let's look at dollars per transaction. It's easier to think about. Same thing. It's just one is a subset of the other. It's such a deep bear here, and then really fought up to get above that into bubble territory in October or November? No, December even. Interesting. Came late here. December 2017. If you look at here, I guess you could make the argument that it's kind of like 2013, but it's different still, right? Because in 2024, we had a big bump here because of ETFs, right? Gensler finally, that was like a 10-year pressure valve release. And that really extended things. We got up to 70,000. That really pushed things to the limit. So then I had to settle down. No cycle is alike, but these are so predictable in my view compared to, the stock market, the gold market. I think Peter Schiff's son is just running his account now. It doesn't even seem like he's trying anymore. Let me find it. I don't really care. I don't follow this much, but every time I, look at look at this statement. Bitcoin is above 110K. What's up with that? And then everybody trolls him. And this doesn't even sound like him either. He's talking about gold versus Bitcoin. I don't have anything to do about it. It's extremely unlikely to ever happen, especially with gold's market cap rising. It seems like a more tempered Peter Schiff. And now he's saying this. Has anyone been paying attention to this? I have not, to be honest. But I think he's phoned it in. I think this is his son, like just tweeting now. You think this is still him? I think people did some analysis that there was like definite confusion for a few posts at least where, you know, it was almost certainly his son that was tweeting. Whatever. Can't be too concerned with this stuff, I guess. I can't imagine what it would do to the psyche of a man who has poo-pooed the Bitcoin trend for so long as he has. just my basic ones again with the multiples. I need to put this on all the other charts. It's somewhere here for him. What a geezer. Absolute geezer. From $5 to $100,000, and he still is bearish. The funny thing is, if you look at this section, right? So, okay, we were faster. Remember, I always say we were faster in the earlier years than we were now. This kind of lines up with those GPUs and ASICs as well. But, you know, we haven't hit this red line since here, since this depths of the crypto winter. It's here, August 2015. Price was 230. 2.5 percentile, 230. If you look at how that evolves, just the support, and again, my support is different than Sminston's and other people doing these quantiles, but I kind of like it. I think it's a better, whatever. It's a multiple. It's 0.2x. The multiple is 0.2x. So wherever the trend is, getting to 0.2x has not happened since the early days. 0.2x of the trend. We weren't even close in 2019 or 2022. If we do get back to there, then you know it's like screaming buy territory. But that's literally the last time, you know, like when Peter Schiff was on his most rampaging tirades against Bitcoin was the last time it was that cheap, that undervalued relative to the trend. Be like the 2012 to 2015 period, ignoring the 2013 top, obviously. So that's another thing to give us comfort. If we look at the 0.4, that's better. All right, so 0.4x is a pretty good bottom call. Peter Zion right there. And 2019, actually didn't even, or 18, didn't even hit it. I'd have to find the exact multiple, but we did hit it during the old C word. Yeah. I've heard the same. I mean, I haven't met some of these gold investors, but I have heard from other people that are in the gold industry that basically there's a lot of people that got angry with Peter Schiff shaking them out of it. I think his, not only his soul, but it's his whole online persona. I think it's just his son. Schiff himself has phoned it in. So let's say 0.4x on the downside, 3.5x on the top side, roughly, just roughly speaking. Might not hit it this time, but assume we do. Again, $350,000, $400,000. This is probably too hot, as we talked about. I think 3x might be better. 360,000. The X, the multiple, is just on the trend. And a reminder, the reason I do this is because I like the multiples. So that's why the lines look weird in the past, because you can keep these consistent multiples anytime over the trend at the time. All right, guys. It has to be a short one today for me. Some other things to do, but look, Slava Ukraine, thank you for checking in. Thank you all for giving me some solace. Consoling our nerves, our uncertainties that we have here in Eastern Europe. But we'll keep at it. Bitcoin is the best hedge against any of the stuff. And yeah, like, subscribe if you can, please. I never do it. I know I'm a terrible marketer, even for myself, but any sats you could donate right here. It's great. Much appreciated. Just goes to my BTC Pay right on the site. No newsletters, no subscriptions, no nothing. But if you want to just donate, I would always appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Anders. Sandro, let me know. Reach out if you can. I have a biking question for you. All right, guys. Take care. Have a good day.